Hey there, good evening. Hope everybody's having a good day and a good night. Um, Thanks for tuning in. I'm going to do something a little different tonight. I usually am doing painting. I think tonight I'm going to do maybe some sketching. I have my sketch pad here. I have a pen. I do have some acrylic inks here as well. Maybe we'll get to those. And I have some paintbrushes and other things scattered around my work area. So yeah. So let's get started and do some painting. Painting, some drawing, some artwork. And if you have any questions, let me know. So I'm just going to get to it and I'll be checking in with messages. Awesome. I have nothing pre-planned, just kind of going with wherever my hand takes me. Just trying to get stuff out, It's been a long day, a crazy day, just trying to get stuff out of my system, my brain. It's kind of like the meditations I do. But tonight we're just going to draw and see what happens. If you have a paper or a pen nearby, feel free to just take it out and just do some random scribbling and sketching. Just see what happens. Sometimes we get too bogged down and have to have everything pre-planned. Just go with the flow sometimes, right? So I just have some random forms going on here. I'm going to break out some color. Let's see. Not sure what I want to use. Feeling yellow or maybe a little magenta, blue, maybe a little bit of everything. Let's go with the blue first. If I could open it. There we go. Just putting some water on a paintbrush. I want to water down the blue ink a little bit. And let's just paint. just kind of filling in some of the forms that were left between the sketches I had shaped out. Filling it with this blue. Not trying to cover every inch here with color. I really love this color blue. It's something about it just makes me really happy. It's cerulean blue. Basically, I'm just doing a pen and ink wash technique. And I'm just painting with feeling tonight. Gonna let that dry a minute. So if you're watching, check in, say hello. It'd be nice to chat with you. Like I said, if you have paper and a pen there with you, feel free to scribble along. Most of the time for me, it's about the process of creating that I really love. It's not always the end result with this kind of work I do. It's just the fun of getting into it, painting. I have music on I'm listening to. I'm kind of getting into that, and you know, while I'm painting at the same time. Gonna let that dry for a minute, and I'm gonna break out some I don't know if I'm going to go magenta maybe, yellow orange, and have some Pyrrole red. These are four of my favorite colors I love using. So let me check in and see what's going on out there today. So it looks like Jimmy checked in and Dave checked in. If you guys are still there, hello. If not, hello anyway. I love when you guys check in. I love the posts you guys are doing on Facebook. They're entertaining, engaging, and positive. I can't stand reading any of this negative stuff anymore, and I really am avoiding it as much as possible. And I'm trying to create just some fun content, positive content on my end and putting it out there. Some of it's a little wacky, but you know what? That's all right. You've got to have fun. So it's easy to get lost these days and go down a not so good path, but that's not really helpful to anybody. And I'm definitely not going down that path. I'm not perfect. I have moments like everybody else where I'm like, what the heck is going on out there? But I'm not letting those moments dominate in my every thought of every minute of every day. That's just not good, right? You don't want that kind of stuff dominating your life. All right, so I brought out the magenta. For some reason, magenta makes me think of that show Blue's Clues. I think magenta was one of the dogs on there, if I remember. Am I right? Does anybody remember Blue's Clues? And was magenta one of the dogs on there? I could be totally making that up. So I'm just taking the magenta and I'm kind of following the silhouettes of the white areas next to the blue. And I'm not going to fill it all solid. I'm watering down my paint, my ink a little bit more so it's not as vibrant. You can kind of see it's coming out a little bit lighter now. So once in a while I'll get a comment or a question. People say, I really don't understand your art. I don't understand what you're doing or what you're painting. And that's okay, I get it. And my response to that is, you're not supposed to understand it. I'm not creating something that's understandable. I'm creating something that you're going to react to, and your reaction and what you see is going to be different than what I'm painting, especially when you do this kind of loose abstract work. It leaves a lot to one's imagination, which is what I like. I like people to use their imaginations and maybe see things in this that I don't see or feel certain ways. So it's a good comment I get and a good question, and that's kind of my response to it. All right, I think it's enough magenta for now. I'm going to let that dry for a minute. If you tune in, be sure to give me a thumbs up so I know you stop by. I always like to thank everybody who watches. I appreciate all your support. So I think I'm going to take a color that's really different than the ones on here. I have a little bit of this yellow orange ink left. Maybe I'll break that out next. I have a couple of different paintbrushes I'm using. That way I don't mix the paint up too much and get the colors all mucky. Also helps to have a couple of clean containers of water here you can rinse off in. If especially if you want to try to keep your colors more pure. If I use the same brush for all the colors, sometimes it gets a little murky. Sometimes you want that, but I think right now I just want to keep things a little separated. Also, if I paint over an area that's wet with another color, it's going to bleed them together. If they dry more, then the colors will stay a little more separated. So some of this is still wet, some of it's a little drier. We'll see what happens. Alright, so I put some of that yellow on there. It's a little popping things out a little bit, some contrast going on. Again, we're just doing a quick sketch tonight, just a little letting loose. Put down some ink lines randomly. Took out some of the acrylic ink, different colors. Put those on. I don't really want to add any more colors. I think if I do, it's going to start getting too busy, and it's a small size sheet of paper. So the more different things I add to it, the busier it's going to look. So I think I like leaving it just the colors I have there. I may add them, add more layers on top of it at some point. But I brought this red out, but I don't think that red's really going to do anything right now if I add it on here. I think it's just really going to just be too much in such a confined area. If you're working with a bigger sheet of paper, bigger canvas, you can probably get away with adding a lot more different colors to that because you have the space for it, right? So I'm kind of happy with the palette I have here. I'm just kind of getting some good old-fashioned exercise here with fan drawing the paper. I think this is good for your core, right? I'm working my core right now. At least I like to think I am. I got to do something to earn some ice cream. There you go. 5 more pounds and I can have some more ice cream. I've been working really hard on losing weight, keeping my weight off. Doing pretty good. I'm down about 20 pounds right now. Did it for health reasons, and I'm feeling much more energetic and much better in a lot of different ways. I just kind of got stuck in a rut and was doing the same thing, bad habits, eating a lot of ice cream and sweets when I shouldn't have been. And it was starting to take its toll on me. Sometimes we have to step outside ourselves and take a look and make changes. It's not easy, and I'm not perfect at it. I have to focus and concentrate and work at it, but sometimes the things that are most valuable or most important in life are the things you have to work hardest at. They don't always come easy. That's something I'm learning more and more I get older. When I was younger, I used to, believe in the philosophy you could sit around and just let things happen. And you know what? It doesn't really work that way. You have to go out and make things happen. The things you want, you have to be active, proactive about it. You have to plan for it. And, like I said, just go make it happen somehow. Is there such thing as luck? Yeah, I believe in luck. But you can't sit around and wait for it. At least I can't. I mean, from my point of view. So it's never too late to realize stuff like that, I guess, right? Right? What are some of the things that you maybe some of the things you think you'd like to work on and improve on? What are some of your struggles and challenges and things are hard working towards, but when you get there, it's going to be amazing. And the other thing, as I said before about painting, it's not always about the end result. Yeah, of course, the end result is awesome, and it could be awesome, but you got to enjoy the steps, the process, the journey of getting to that end result, right? I mean, you put all that time and energy trying to either get something or accomplish something, and if you're not enjoying getting there, or at least making the best of it and learning from it, then it's like why bother? Maybe I'm wrong, but I feel like most of the journey is trying to get somewhere, and once you get there, the gratification is kind of gone quickly. So that's why really, really embracing the journey, even if it's challenging. I think changing your mental state about getting there. Sorry if I sound like a broken record, but I think it's something that's pretty important to me. By the way, does anybody know what a record is? Vinyl. Vinyl is back, right? That's the people collecting vinyl and have record players now again. It's pretty cool stuff. All right, I'm gonna let this dry. I'm gonna check in over here. I didn't do my hair today, so I don't know if I'll go on camera to say hello. Maybe I'll be brave and take a peek. Oh, what the heck. We can pop in. Hello, it's me. Now, it's always good to check in face to face, right? The visual contact is important. So one of the things I'm actually missing the most right now about teaching from home is that interaction, that face to face with the kids. It's this long distance learning. It's a learning process for everybody. It's so new to everybody, and it is definitely not the same as being in school with the students. There's such a different dynamic and a different energy level that when you're in school, it's really pretty incredible. And I think having this time, these couple of weeks to be home and away from the hubbub of the school activity, it kind of makes you think. At least it's making me think like, hey, I miss the hustle and bustle in the hallways, and the lunch duty. It's not always the best thing, but I kind of miss it. I miss that interaction and talking to the kids and saying hello to them, and seeing what they're up to, what they're interested in, seeing what games they're playing on their phones. I mean, it's an awesome way to keep engaged and in touch with what's happening out there. Oh, hey Dave, here's the hair shot. I hope you enjoy it. Um, I need to get some mousse or some styling gel in it. You know what? We can't be afraid to show our true selves, right? So here I am showing my true self. Um, Not perfect by any means. But yeah, so that dynamic of not being in school with the kids is so different teaching from home, and the energy level is totally missing. Um, so sometimes we need to step away from the things that we're doing every day to appreciate them more, or appreciate them in different ways. So I'm just trying to see, all this time home as thank you. That's right, brother. You too, man. I love your comments. Um, so it's you know different. The times are different. Dave's on here chatting with me. Dave, you're awesome. I'm so glad we stayed in touch all these years. One of the things I've always loved about you is your unique, I was going to say odd, quirky, um, sense of humor and outlook on things. Uh, it's something that it's a gift that you have, and it's a gift that you share. It's really incredible that you have that, and you don't keep it yourself. You give it. You always there's always a post that you make that either is nostalgic, reminds me of good times, or makes me laugh, or just these observations you make. So your perspective and the way you see the world is really, really unique, and it's really cool. And I love that about you. So thumbs up and kudos to you, man. That's incredible. Keep your outlook on things, all right? Um, and one of these days we will find Faribor's. Where is Faribor's? That is the ultimate mystery. Man. You know what I was thinking about the other day? They used to live right up the corner. I think Ross and Raymond. I want to say Raggio. Ross and Raymond Raggio. Do you remember them? I remember like hanging out in front of their house, climbing on the big rock in their yard. I was just thinking about that the other day. It was kind of weird. It popped into my head. But those were great times back then. Back in the old hood, man. The hood. Yeah, that was so not cool. I know. I can edit this later. All right, Tim. Hey, Tim. How are you? Nice to see you, man. Um, Thank you. I'm an inspiration. Maybe a perspiration. I do make some people sweat. Get a little stinky under the arms. But thank you for those words. If I appreciate that. You're a funny guy too, Tim. I mean, you have a unique sense of humor, and I guess I like people that have unique sense of humors. Um, Tim, you're very talented. I hope you're doing well and you're keeping busy these days, and you're still pursuing your comedic interests, your comedic routes. Um, yeah, so I appreciate your positive words and keeping checked in with me. Dude, Google him. Oh, thank you. I'll have to check them out. Thank you for putting the name on there. Um, I totally forgot their names. Interesting. You know what other name popped in my head? They used to live around the corner from us. His first name was Brock. Do you remember a kid named Brock? Brok, like broccoli. I could be totally making this up, but that name like popped into my head too. Um, Sometimes it's like it's times like this when the world's just crazy that we start tapping into our nostalgic selves, right? We start looking a little more inside, maybe about our past and what brought us to where we are today. So these really weird names from the past have been like popping into my head. Does it happen to you guys too? Or am I just totally wacky? And yes, you can say wacky. I do, after all, talk to Mr. Jim Henson here. Say hello to Jim. Mr. Rogers. And to complete the trio of childhood heroes, talking about nostalgia, Mr. Bob Ross. But I digress. I know you guys came to watch me draw, so I'm talking, but this is fun. I love chatting. Can't spell Ross's last name. I have fond memories of him. That's cool. Yeah. Barack Moore. Yeah, I remember that. Yes, that is the name. Awesome. Thank you for bringing it up to me. I think I went to a birthday party. He used to live up on the hill. It's coming back, man. That's a good sign. When things come back in here, good things coming back in here. It's a good sign. Getting older, still keeping it done. All right, we're going to go back to paints drying. I'm going to do some more drawing. We'll keep chatting. I love your comments. This is fun and inspiring. You guys inspire me to keep doing what I'm doing. And just having fun, right? So let's go back to the drawing paper. I will be checking in with your comments for sure. See, he lived on a hill. I knew it. Wasn't there like a movie or a book or something, The House on the Hill? I think it was like about a haunted house. I don't remember him living in a haunted house. Maybe. Good stuff. Right, let's go back and see what's on the canvas here. I will keep checking in. Feel free to chat amongst yourselves, comments, questions. Boom. I'm sure. Oh, yeah. Got to click on the right thing on the screen so I can switch to camera view. There we are. Boom, we're back. All right. I think I'm going to do another one. What the heck? Why not? Let's just break out some different colors. I believe I got the sketchbook where I can tear the pages out. Let's see. I think I did. Let's see. I did, but it's not really tearing out. That's okay. We'll just do this. That works. All right, so I got a new piece of paper. It's blank. Pretty cool, right? What would you do with this? If this was your piece of paper, what would you do with it right now? Let's share some feedback. If you could do anything with this piece of paper, I don't care if it's eating it or whatever, what would you do with a blank piece of paper? I'll let you think about it for a minute. That's my design challenge for the day. I love doing design challenges in school with my students, in architecture class and CAD class, especially architecture. It's really cool to see some of the things that the kids come up with. I remember his birthday party. I remember his mother showing us how static electricity made balloons stick to a wall. Oh my God. Dude, I remember that. I do remember that. Wow, that's awesome. Where did you pull that from, my friend? You're like a magician pulling rabbits out of your hats. I did say hat, right? Rabbits out of your hats. Yeah. So back to my blank paper challenge. What would you do with it? Make a paper airplane? Would you build something out of it? Would you crumple it up? Interesting, right? So one of the most challenging things about being creative or being an artist is this right here, this blank piece of paper. Some people find it really intimidating, to start with nothing. And that happens to me a lot as well. You know, like now I'm thinking, what do I do with this piece of paper? It's kind of just staring at me. If it had eyes, it'd be staring at me. I don't know what I should draw or paint. I don't want to do anything wrong on there. I don't want to make mistakes. You know what? Just got to toss it out. Totally toss it out the window. This is here for you to do whatever you want with it. So let's do it. Again, I'm not grading myself. No one's hired me to paint something specific. This is me saying, hey, I got some me time here. Let's do something with it. All right, so I'm breaking out the red. Maybe start drizzling some paint on it. All right, I'm gonna do that, Dave. Just for you. I'm gonna drizzle some, I have some red Liquitex ink here. Let's just drizzle it on there. Let's see. It's a good, let's just see what happens, all right? I don't have a slow-mo camera. All right, should we add different colors? Add some blue to it. All right, we got some blue and red on there, some splotches, cool. Splotches could be fun. I think I'm gonna take a brush and just kind of lightly go over it and see what kind of patterns it makes. Let's try that. Let's see. I'm trying to find, I have a brush here. I'll use this big one here. Just a dry brush. I didn't put anything on it. So I'm just kind of doing a dragging technique. Not the kind that breathes fire. That's a drag in. This is dragging. So I like the striations here of the dry brush bristles. Brush bristles. Yes, I like the dry brush bristles. Sorry. I was trying to do Sean Connery. It didn't really sound that good. I haven't done a Sean Connery voice in a long time. Yes, that is correct. That is correct, young man. You need to practice your Sean Connery. All right. Sorry, guys. I am definitely not Rich Little. I think he's still around. You guys remember Rich Little? I used to love Rich Little when I was a kid. He did so many cool voice impersonations. My favorite he did was Johnny Carson. I'm a huge Carson fan. And Rich Little, what a talent. I actually think he still is performing. He's got to be I don't know, 80 years old. I always thought people that could imitate voices, that was a really cool gift they had. When I was younger, I used to do voices. I'm so out of practice. Now I just make up random weird characters. Like Jorge. You guys know Jorge? Hey, Jorge's Kitchen. It's delicious. Yeah, sorry. Jorge just came out of nowhere the other day when I was cooking in the kitchen and kind of lost my marbles a little bit. So just having fun. This is looking kind of cool. I think I want it to dry a little bit before I add anything else to it. So I want to show this to you guys. Excuse me, while that's drying. This is kind of a really random thing I worked on one day. What I like about this is it has really, and it's not really showing on camera that well, but it has a really vibrant and bright colors and patterns on here. I don't know if I can get a good shot of it or not. Sometimes things don't come through on camera that well. But again, this is random, and I kept this, and I like it because it makes me happy. The colors are so bright and vibrant. There's some fluorescence going on in here. And I use it as a reference, for other paintings and stuff I do. I've kind of, it's a tool, right? It's kind of a roadmap, or what's the word I'm thinking of? Fill in the blank. It's not a roadmap. It's kind of a canvas of, oh, I just saw some kind of futuristic figure or robot kind of figure on this. I don't know if, where is that? You can't see it on camera, but this is kind of the head, the blue area, and it forms like a body over here. Sorry, anyway, that's the cool thing about these abstract paintings is you will see different things in them at different times. So, yes, thank you. I hope you enjoyed the first episode of Horrigate's Kitchen. He doesn't have his name. I don't know how to spell his name either. Every time you see it, it's spelled differently, but he's very enthusiastic about what he does. You can tell he's passionate about his cooking. And I guess it's okay if you're passionate about something. It's okay to express it and share it. Why not? Right? Yeah, I'm back to my exercise here. My fan exercise. So Dave, have you been doing any artwork? I know I see you posting some things once in a while. I know you were on a cleaning spree. How did that feel? I'm sure it was very therapeutic to get all that cleaning done, right? That organizing. Did you end up getting rid of a lot of things that you had in that room? Something that's definitely on my list is purging. I have a desire to live in almost a minimalist lifestyle with just the basics that I need. I have so much more than the basics. It's overwhelming at times. Hope you guys are enjoying this fanning process. That's cool. So you have been tossing some stuff. It's right. It's not always easy getting rid of things. Yeah, especially for me. I have a lot of things, and it's not good. It actually mentally weighs me down when I see this stuff. I have a lot of you know things I collected over the years, action figures and things like that. That I think eBay is like calling my name, and I got to sell them. I just haven't done it. They're not really doing anything for me now. Noah doesn't want any of that stuff, so it's time to either sell it or even give it away. In the past I've donated things or gave things away to people. I love doing that. Maybe during the holidays this year, I'll just take some more stuff and just give it and donate it to people that kids that will appreciate that kind of stuff. Um, it's stuff, right? Stuff is stuff. Yeah, so you're trying to simplify too. That's cool. Maybe I don't know. Maybe it's an age thing. I'm kind of feeling like I need to really simplify, and I feel like I kind of know what is important to me at least right now. It could change, but all that junk I have is not important to me. Um, Art supplies, yes, I will keep my paints and my brushes and all that stuff because that's important to me. Um, Austin Powers action figures, no, I don't think so. Not so much anymore. Are they cool to look at? Yeah, they're cool. They're sitting in a box though, so I'm sure he's having some kind of psychedelic swing party in the box, but that's good for Austin. I don't know. It's crazy stuff. So yeah, this is drying. So what time? Let's check in here. It's 9:55. I'll probably be on for 5, 10 more minutes, and then we'll wrap it up. This is great. So thank you guys for tuning in. Dave, your comments are awesome. You keep me going, so I appreciate the interaction here. Good stuff. So this is kind of drying over here. So let's go back to it. Yeah, you're trying to find more time for painting as well. That's awesome. Oh, that's incredible. I love that you're spending time with your daughter and her passion for photography. That's really, really, really cool. Um, Especially when you can find things to do with your kids. I mean, it doesn't get better than that, right? Um, yeah, and Noah is hard to do things with, which is fine. He's his own person, but it's probably, hopefully it's an age thing, and we'll start getting together and doing things more often. But yeah, treasure those moments. If you can find something to do together, that's incredible. Um, Photography is awesome. I love photography. One of the places I really like to go to photograph, and I try to get there 3 or 4 times a year, is oh my gosh, the New Jersey Botanical Gardens up by the Ringwood Manor, Ringwood State Park. I don't know if you've been there or not. It's really, really a cool place to go photograph. Um, I like the old building that's there. The architecture is cool. There's a couple of other buildings on the property that are cool. When the flowers are in bloom there, it's beautiful. Um, and I love how it changes through the seasons. So I always try to get there during the different seasons, just to you know capture life or capture the nature in a different perspective from a different point of view. So that's cool. So do you guys like to go to parks to photograph things? Just around the house? I mean, does your daughter like to photograph animals? Or I mean, that's really cool. That's awesome. Um, yeah, I'd love to see some pictures sometime if she's willing to share them. Kudos to her, man. That's great. This is drying a little bit. The cerulean blue color dries really fast, um, which is one of the things I love about using it. And I think what I'd like to do is I'm going to break out this yellow again. My water's getting a little mucky in the bucket over here. But let's see. I also bought some gouache. I've never painted with gouache before. Um, Used my gift card the other day and said I wanted to try something new. So I don't think I'm going to break those out today. I'll break them out this week, and we'll do a live show with those. Um, so let's do this, man. So yeah, I'm super excited to try that new paint out. That's one of the fun things about, or one of the things that you need to do to explore your creativity is you can't be afraid. Well, I guess you could be afraid if you're an egg. You can't be afraid to try new things. Let's do that again. You can't be afraid to try new things. I'm just going to use this pipette. Is that the right word for all my science fans out there? AKA eyedropper, but is it called a pipette? Science was not my strong suit in school. That I will admit. I really admire anybody that has a scientific mind. I think you're amazing. The stuff you guys know and the diligence you have when you're doing experiments. It's just it's a discipline I've never been able to master. So good stuff, right? So what is the science? Like I should probably know the science behind paint and colors, and you know I know that orange and blue make green, but beyond that, I don't know why. Maybe it's something I should learn. Maybe it would make me better at my craft. And I don't mean macaroni and cheese. You get it? Craft macaroni and cheese. Oh boy. Yeah, I know. Sometimes I try way too hard with the humor. So I'm taking this yellow, and some areas are bleeding with the red, which is cool. It's making it kind of orangey, right? Yellow and red make orange, which Trying to leave some areas like here a little more pure. You can see where the yellow overlapped the blue. It's turned green here. I kind of like what's going on here. I don't know if you can see it. It's kind of orangey, fiery red. I really want some more pure yellow. So Dave, oh, I just saw your comment on here. Thank you for that comment. That's really awesome. That makes me happy. That was actually, you actually made my day with that comment. So thank you. Teaching is something I didn't plan on doing. You may have heard the story. One of my friends at the high school, Mr. Dave DeVries, who is an incredible artist. I happened to see a post of his on Facebook one day that the high school was actually looking for an engineering teacher. So I replied, I forget what I put on the post. I'm like, oh, sounds interesting, but I don't really, teach engineering, or I'm not a teacher. And the next thing I heard was I got a message. He said, please call my supervisor for an interview. I'm like, what? So I'm like, oh, okay. So yeah, I called Mr. Papa, who is my supervisor. He is an incredible man. Um, I can't say enough about him. He is the most supportive person I have ever met when it comes to school and his departments and his teachers. He's incredible. So I know he's not watching, but kudos and shout out to you. You are an amazing guy. Anyway, so I went in for an interview, and then before you knew it, I started teaching. Apparently, the teacher that was there before me had to unfortunately leave. He had just started teaching in Jefferson. It was his first year, but he had been teaching many years in other places, and he had to leave. His wife was not doing well. Nice man. I went to observe him a few times, and so basically, I went in, to fill in for him. It was in December, and I started, as a long-term substitute, and here I am. I'm a full-time teacher. I have my provisional certificate. I'm working on my standard certificate, so I'm taking college classes as we speak to get that done. But anyway, so thank you for your comment, Dave. It was a long story. I don't usually like to talk about myself too much, but I know you're a teacher, and I'm sure you're an amazing teacher as well. It's definitely in your genes. I know that your father, an amazing individual, teacher. There will never be anybody like him again. He was just an incredible man, and so kind, generous, and funny, and he just people loved him, and people still love him, right? And I'm sure you're having that kind of impact on your students every day. So kudos to you. It's not an easy profession as some people think. I average 80 to 90 hours a week teaching, and even putting even more time in now with this distance learning. I hope distance learning is going well for you in your school, and I hope I know it's challenging, but I hope you're hanging in there and doing the best you can. So thank you again. That was a great comment. And someone gave me some really good advice about teaching. They said just be yourself. That's all I'm trying to do. Well, I can't be totally myself. I can't break out into Jorge in the classroom and start a cooking show. But maybe I could come up with some kind of cool architect character. Right? Just be yourself. That was great advice, and I always remember that, especially in those days that I have an observation. No, I'm like that every day. My philosophy with teaching is, I'm just gonna get a paper towel. Here it is. I'm there to open doors for kids. I'm there to encourage them to try different things and explore different interests. And if I can open a door for them in a positive way, that's the best thing I can do, right? Everybody is an individual. I treat my students like individuals. They're people. I try to get to know them, their interests, incorporate their interests into the class. I mean, it's really, it's for me, it's about a community. I see my classroom as a studio environment, um, more than a regular classroom with a desk in the front. It's more of a small community. It's a studio for collaboration and creating together. And one of the things I'm trying to work on is a motto or saying for like collaboration for the community. Um, Sorry, I got off on this teaching tangent, but I hope that's okay. Um, yeah, so I want to use the ability of design and creativity for doing positive things in the world and for the community. So it's kind of a path that I'm trying to head down with my classes, just to put that out there. So yeah, really, it's really cool stuff. I wish I had brought a 3D printer home because I could have been working on it, or the laser cutter machine. That would have been cool to have here. I could have been practicing and coming up with lessons for it, but I left it in school. No. Anyway, comments. So I'm all over the place. Sorry. Choo-choo. Yeah, yeah. That's good. That's cool. Yeah. So being yourself is important. Kids know when people are not. Oh, absolutely. That's a really good point. I'm sure you're very entertaining in school. Oh, look at it. Right? What's your favorite thing about teaching? Or what keeps you going? What keeps you motivated to be a teacher? I definitely know it's not easy all the time. But there's got to be that one thing, right? That one thing that keeps you there. Besides a paycheck, which really is, I've been blessed because I could, I still have my architecture business, but I had a choice. You know, did I want to keep doing my architecture stuff, or did I want to start teaching? And I wanted to keep teaching a try, and I'm really glad I did. I still have a business going, but I've really cut it way, way back. I just can't. It's just too much to do teaching and architecture at the same time. Ooh, I like this red. I'm adding some red. This is actually cool. Dave, I like your idea about drizzling paint on here. It's inspired me to keep playing around with it and adding colors, so thank you. I love the middle school age. They are weird, but never dull. There you go. I love it. So how exhausted are you at the end of a school day? So my son Noah's 8th grade. He'll be coming into the high school next year. So that'll be interesting. I don't really remember my middle school days too much. Isn't that weird? But I do hear there's a big difference in teaching middle school and high school students. So I'm gonna put this piece of cardboard here because I want to hit the edges of the paper with some red. All right, I'm gonna wrap up in 5 minutos, 5 minutos. So one of the things I'm going to do before I wrap up tonight is I'm going to look at this painting. One of the tricks I always do is I like to turn the paper around and look at it from a different perspective, different viewpoint, different orientation. Let's see how many different words can I use for direction. Different polar coordinate. vantage point. All right, it's enough. I can't think of any more. Cool. All right, I think it's enough color on there for now. I just saw like some runny paint here, so I just dabbing a paper towel in it, just kind of give a little bit of texture to this, some of the wet paint that's on here, just dragging it, just being a little playful, just dragging it up. See if it creates any interesting patterns. One thing I like about videoing art stuff, especially when I'm just messing around, is that you never know what you might find an interesting technique out that you did by accident, and having on a film, you could always go back and take a look at it. Plus, I just like to look at my hair, so I can go back and look at my hair all night long if I want. Just kidding. Very cool. All right, I'm going to make a little room here. I'm going to spin this around and take a look at it from a different direction as we kind of wrap up for the night. Hope you guys have been enjoying this and relaxing. A little bit of downtime on this Monday evening. It is Monday, right? It is. And I've got school tomorrow. So let's see, we're just moving some stuff out of the way. Ooh, I just moved the whole camera. Oops. So let's just kind of flip it around, let's look at it from a different perspective. So I'm looking at the camera view that you guys are seeing, and I'm looking at the real live version here as well. It's a little bit different. The camera view is, the reds here are much more red and vibrant than they are that I have painted down here. There's a blue area up here that's really vibrant on camera, but in reality it's not quite as bright. I'm kind of liking the way it's looking better from your point of view. Yes, you. I'm pointing to you. Yes, I have paint in my finger. That's one of the benefits of painting. It's an excuse to get messy. So looking at it from this point of view, I'm kind of liking this orientation of it better. I like the movement. Right? To me, this painting has a lot of energy to it, a lot of movement, a lot of action, right? You see the brush strokes all kind of, just going up the sheet of paper this way. It's not very stagnant. Stagnant would be an image where everything's kind of just lined up neatly in order, very complacent. This is very not complacent. I think a lot of it has to do with just the conversation and interaction tonight. I wasn't really thinking anything about what I was painting, but I was really engaged in the conversation. And I think that kind of translated itself onto paper because, I found the conversation really, it was kind of interesting. It had my brain stimulated. I was thinking in different ways I haven't thought about in a while. Good feedback back and forth. There's a dynamic energy there. And I think that dynamic energy translated itself into this art piece, this artwork, this art sketch, whatever you want to call it. So it's a really good example of how how just letting your inside stuff, just let it come out, right? For me, it's very therapeutic. I wasn't forcing myself to paint what you see down here. No, this isn't a forced thing at all. It just happened. And it happened based on what was happening here. The dialogue, the interaction. Like I said, the dynamic conversation. And that really played itself out onto the artwork. So creativity comes from many different things, many different influences, different inspirations. It could be music. It could be music, it could be things you see, it could be people, it could be conversations. It doesn't matter. We're all inspired by something. You might not know it, but we are. So on that note, I want everybody to have a great night. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for watching. Leave your comments. Please share this. Give it a thumbs up. It'll be on YouTube. Let's spread the word. I just want to keep this thing growing if possible. You guys are awesome. I appreciate every one of you. Great conversation. Thank you. You made my night tonight, Dave, with your comments. I appreciate it. On that, guys, I just want to say my favorite 2 things, or 3 things, however many words it is. Peace and live creatively. See you guys real soon. Take care. I have to hold this cheesy pose until I turn off the camera. It looks better on YouTube when I do. Thanks, guys. Good night.